Morning San Antonio starts right now.
One of the world's most wanted terrorists has been killed in a U.S. airstrike. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, where the former leader of Al-Qaeda was hiding.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, 78 degrees, not too bad. And it got hot yesterday, but I'm going to say it wasn't as hot as it has been in a while.
Okay, appreciate your cautious optimism. Good morning. It is Tuesday, August 2nd. And I mean, the big question yesterday was, were we going to hit triple digits?
That's right. It didn't feel like it.
Okay, did you make it out and about?
I did. I had a bunch of errands to run.
Okay.
And, well, I mean, at least I wasn't out in it. Mike's over there saying, yep.
Did we hit triple digits?
We barely hit 100 yesterday afternoon. Yes.
How about that omen for the start of August?
So much for that. Anyway, well, it didn't have quite enough cloud cover, but you are correct. Not as hot as the previous day by 1 degree. So
big win.
There is my story this morning. I'm sticking with that. But yeah, we did hit 100 yesterday, and pretty much sure thing the next couple of days because it's going to get even hotter. We've got clear skies. Yeah, it was actually kind of pleasant stepping outside this morning. It wasn't like the humidity actually sort of hit you in the face. 79 right now. The normal low temperature is up to 76. So we are now in with a normal high being 97, normal low being 76, the hottest period historically of the year, and it's definitely going to live up to that and then some. 78 in Divine, 81 right now in Castroville. And yeah, these numbers are actually down a couple of notches. The dew points, just that much less humidity does make somewhat of a difference. We do have a heat index 84 Castroville, 82 at the airport Canyon Lake as well as Hondo, and mold is on the low side. It did go down from the previous day's reading. Throughout the day, guess what? Going to be hot, going to be sunny, and 91 for a noontime temperature, 101 a shower. Well off to the east, possible, not likely though, and wind out of the southeast about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Going to get hotter. Any more relief in sight? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Max.
Thank you, Mike. New this morning, a man is behind bars accused of murder last week in Pleasanton. The Atascosa County Sheriff's Office says Leonard Douglas Jr. was involved in the murder of Joe Hernandez. His body was found last week on Lucas Road in the Black Hill community. Douglas was arrested Monday afternoon.
A man shot in the back of the head all while working out. That's what one gym goer says he saw before the man fell to the ground and the suspect ran off. Now, this deadly shooting happening at an LA Fitness on the north side last night. Sarah Costa joins us live in studio. So, Sarah, have they caught the suspect?
Good morning, Max. The alleged shooter is in custody this morning. Police say after the suspect ran from the gym, police were able to quickly catch up with him and took him into custody without an incident. So a man is dead after that shooter went up to him while he worked out at an LA Fitness in the 7100 block of Blanco. This happening just after 7 last night. When police arrived, they found the victim dead, who had been shot once in the head. The gunman left the gym and started going down the sidewalk toward a nearby car dealership. That's where officers approached him and took him into custody. Police say the suspect did not have a gun on him, but they found a weapon that was recovered near the suspect. SAPD believes the victim was targeted in this shooting. His identity remains unknown. Now, it's unclear what the motive the shooter had, and police are still speaking with witnesses as they continue their investigation. This is the second shooting at the Northside Gym in just a little over a year. The shooting that happened in July of 2021 was also deadly. Max and Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Topping your morning headlines, the leader of Al-Qaeda and one of the world's most wanted terrorists killed in a United States drone strike in Afghanistan.
President Biden addressing the nation from the White House. ABC's Ike Ajachi has the details.
This morning, Ayman al-Zawahiri, Al-Qaeda's leader and a member of the FBI's most wanted list, has been killed in a precision U.S. airstrike in Kabul, Afghanistan.
I authorized a precision strike that would remove him from the battlefield once and for all.
He's been hiding for more than 20 years, a senior administration official calling it a successful counterterrorism operation with no civilian casualties. The CIA briefing President Biden in April that Zawahiri was believed to be living in a safe house in this area, which he never left. Over the weekend, Biden authorizing the strike, firing 2 Hellfire missiles at al-Zawahiri as he stepped onto the balcony of the safe house.
Justice has been delivered, and this terrorist leader is no more. People around the world no longer need to fear the vicious and determined killer.
Experts say Hellfire missiles are extremely precise. They don't explode. Instead, the missiles are equipped with razor-like blades, which slices through a target.
So it will go through and essentially vaporize a human body, but somebody standing within feet of this person would not be injured at all.
El-Zawahiri was second in command to Osama bin Laden at the time of the 9/11 terror attacks. He took over as the leader of al-Qaeda after U.S. forces killed bin Laden. He was found in a crowded section of Afghanistan's capital less than a year after U.S. forces pulled out of the country.
No matter how long it takes, no matter where you hide, if you are a threat to our people, the United States will find you and take you out.
And we're learning the strike happened in a wealthy part of Kabul, just walking distance from the U.S. Embassy. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
And Senator John Cornyn says he will work remotely after testing positive for COVID yesterday. President Biden also tested positive for COVID again over the weekend. However, First Lady Jill Biden tested negative. Both the president and Senator Cornyn are fully vaccinated and boosted. They say they are feeling fine.
And staying with COVID, but turning to the trust index, you know those at-home tests that the government sends you?
Well, one KSAT viewer pointed out the solution and swabs in the kit have different expiration dates. So which one do you go by? So we took a closer look and also asked Dr. Fred Campbell with UT Health Internal Medicine. He says we also need to pay attention to the expiration date on the box.
The expiration date on the outside of the box is generally considered to be the most important expiration date you can use, and the one that you should use over all others.
The date of the box correlates with the test strip, so that's the date you want to use. Also, keep your tests out of the heat. That way, they will work properly.
Time now just about 4:37, 78 degrees out.
And still to come, an important warning from a mom to other parents this morning after her son nearly died from a tick bite. What she wants you to know to keep your little ones safe.
Plus, monkeypox state of emergency in California. After the break, we're going to take a look at the latest numbers here in the Alamo City.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide this morning. Look at I-35 at 1604 and also I-10 West at Loop 1604. Things looking good so far, kind of quiet at 437.
And speaking of quiet, only 78 to start your Tuesday morning. How hot will it be? Will we see rain and when? We're going to check in with Mike Osterhage in just a few moments.
And welcome back. It's 4:40. Monkeypox cases are still being monitored here in San Antonio. We have 13 cases, the same amount as Friday.
But cases continue to rise in other parts of the country. Nearly 5,200 cases scattered across the U.S. California's governor declaring a state of emergency over monkeypox. California becomes the second state in just the last 3 days to take that emergency step. The president has not declared monkeypox a national emergency. The illness is primarily spread through skin-to-skin contact, but we are learning that it can also be spread through contaminated clothes and even bedding.
And looking ahead, Metro Health is hosting a forum on Thursday to answer your questions about monkeypox. That's from 7 to 8 at night at Woodline Point on Donaldson Avenue. So Spanish and sign language interpreters will be available at this meeting.
Time now 4:41, 78 degrees out.
If you're going to do some shopping today, you want to keep it right here. Just ahead, some of the best deals for August.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a parenting alert about tick bites.
Things got really, really scary.
As 3-year-old Johnny went for a swim in Pennsylvania back in June, his mom Jamie noticed a tick on his shoulder.
Grabbed it with a little pair of tweezers. It came right off.
Jamie watched as her toddler spiked high fevers, slept all day and night, even losing some speech. Johnny was hospitalized. Doctors discovering swelling in Johnny's brain.
My arm is very bad.
Your arm is very bad? Just days after being released, finally a diagnosis. Johnny had Powassan virus, a tick-borne illness causing an infection of the brain. The disease is rare, but increasingly diagnosed. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the important warning signs to look out for to keep you and your children safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
And with inflation touching just about everything, who couldn't use a discount? Well, it turns out you can find some pretty hot August deals on summer clothing, laptops, and more.
12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has a look at what top-rated products are now on sale.
Goodbye beaches, hello backpacks, and some August deals. First up, back to school.
We're seeing plenty of discounts on everything your kids will need to head back to the classroom. That includes tech devices like laptops, tablets, and headphones, as well as clothing, backpacks, notebooks, and everything else you'll need.
Consumer Reports tracks prices on its top tested products to find the best time to buy. Kids need a new laptop? Right now, the Microsoft Surface Laptop Go is on sale for $390 at Amazon. That's $160 off. It has a touchscreen and comes with a fast, more efficient solid-state drive. Looking for something lighter? There are deals now on tablets. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 is now $565 at Amazon. You don't have to wait until September for Labor Day sales. Some start this month.
We tend to see discounts on big-ticket items like large appliances, mattresses, and other summer seasonal products.
Planning on a Labor Day cookout? The Kamado Joe Classic 2 18-inch grill is nearly $400 off at Amazon and Walmart. CR says it's the best Kamado-style grill they've tested. Finally, have a college apartment or dorm to clean? August is prime time for vacuum sales. The Shark Rotator Professional Liftaway is now $250 at Amazon and the Home Depot. And mark your calendar for this weekend. Beginning Friday, Texas shoppers pay no sales tax on most clothing, backpacks, and school supplies. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And Lyons Magnus is recalling a number of nutritional and beverage products after potential contamination. The food service company is working with the FDA to recall 53 products distributed nationwide. Now, some of that stuff being recalled includes protein and nutritional drinks. Possible symptoms include fever, vomiting, and a urinary tract infection. So far, no illnesses linked to the products have been reported. You can return the recalled products to the place of purchase for a full refund.
And H-E-B also issuing a recall alert. So take a look in the freezer. H-E-B Creamy Creations Light Mint Chocolate Chip Ice Cream being pulled from shelves because of the wheat that was used in the product. But that wheat was not declared on the label. It can lead to a serious risk for those who are allergic to wheat. Now, the impacted ice cream has a best buy date of January 6th, 2023. You can return the ice cream for a full refund.
Time now 4:47. Let's go ahead and look outside with TransGuide. I was looking earlier at Loop 410, now at Highway 281 at Loop 410, where things are moving. A few people out there getting to work and getting to their destinations on this Tuesday morning.
All right, and I got to say the AC is probably already blasting because it's only 78 degrees, but it feels so humid, Mike.
Yeah, although it is down a little bit. I mean, compared to yesterday, you know, it wasn't just that in your face walking outside this morning.
Right, it's not too bad.
Yeah, you know, it goes without saying it's humid. It's just how is it humid or really humid? You know, it's kind of that scale. We're already up here. But, you know, triple digits again yesterday. We didn't keep quite enough in the way of clouds around to keep us just below 100. We officially hit it out there at the airport. And yeah, I kind of agree. Too hot to think of anything cool to say about the sunset. It is beautiful, but it is blazing out there, and it's going to actually get hotter the next couple of days. We've got mostly clear skies right now. Nice view over there, 10 at 410, and keeping track, 52 days as of yesterday, and we are going to continue to rack up the triple-digit temperatures for the next couple of days. So we are going to be coming close to getting into second place, and again, it just looks like it's inevitable that this will end up being the most triple-digit days ever recorded here in town. 100 yesterday. You know, a lot of places were really close to it. Uvalde stayed at 98, 97 Kerrville, 101 in New Braunfels, but more folks are going to be hitting 100 today. As a matter of fact, pretty much all around the metropolitan area, we are going to be well up into the low hundreds, and then again getting hotter the next couple of days. So we got a couple of clouds hanging around here this morning. We'll stay fairly steady in the next few hours, fluctuating a degree or two. Mid 80s through late morning, already up to 91 at noon, and then 101 for high temperature later on today. And it is going to be, you know, somewhat of that breeze out there, but as Mark Austin likes to describe it, it's going to feel like a hair dryer, especially walking across across, the grocery store parking lot or something. Humidity will drop down, but even, when it's close to 60 is always that sort of magic number, that threshold where it's more comfortable, your body cools itself more efficiently. But even staying at 61, when you get up into the 101 range, that puts a heat index up to 104. So that's where we're going to be later on today. 107 forecast heat index, Cotulla 105 at Beeville, 106 in Eagle Pass, as well as Gonzales. So obviously, you got to take it easy outside. We've got, not much in the way of clouds. There were a couple of low clouds. We'll see some more of these as the morning rolls on, just a couple of them. And then around the country, you can still sort of see this clockwise rotation around there. That's the high sitting on top of us. Now, there's a little bit of hope for a couple of showers, not anything big, but actually a disturbance up here to the kind of northwest. It's going to be wrapping around that and swinging around in here. One thing I do want to point out, though, and this is not necessarily good news, Kentucky with all that flooding, we got more of these showers and thunderstorms, and even computer models have more of this trying to develop and move through Kentucky in the next couple of days. So they can't catch a break over there. All right, 91 at noon, partly cloudy skies, high temperature, again, 101 today. And we will continue to, again, rack up some of those triple digits for the next couple of days. So today, 53 will move into a tie for second place as it looks by Sunday. Again, a couple more clouds around here, so it'll be a real sort of close call, if you will, as far as hitting triple digits Thursday, Friday, small chance for a couple of showers, and then more triple digits into the first part of next week.
Seems like it went up a little bit.
As far as those temperatures, yeah, yesterday going for 102, tomorrow and Thursday now 103. So.
Okay, well, we'll prepare for that.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
Happy August.
4:51, 78 degrees out.
Well, Queen Bee is in hot water this morning. After the break, why Beyonce is under fire for one of her songs.
And taking a look at those lotto numbers, pick 3, 909, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 8327, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 7, 9, 19, 32, 35. Texas two-step, 3, 6, 16, 22, bonus ball 22. And your Powerball numbers, 15, 21, 31, 36, 65, Powerball 16, Power Play 3. Good luck.
Beyonce cooking up controversy with her new song Heated off her just released album Renaissance. In the song, she uses a word twice that's considered derogatory in the disability community. In fact, Lizzo used the word in a song a few weeks ago, faced backlash, apologized, and changed the lyric. Beyonce following suit, her team saying in a statement that the word, not used intentionally in a harmful way, will be replaced. That song, Heated, is co-written by Drake, who announced Monday that he tested positive for COVID-19. And he wrote on Instagram that Monday night's Young Money reunion show would be rescheduled.
You know what they say about flying close to the sun?
The critically acclaimed HBO series Industry returned for season 2 last night, full of more debauchery and financial deals. And star Myha'la Herrold tells me it's not so awkward doing the sex scenes, but she doesn't care so much for the drug scenes. And when you combine the two,
you know, it's powdered lactate, it's dry, and it's going up your nose, and you're doing take after take, and it's building up, and then it's running down the back of your throat, and between takes you're like blowing your nose and then going and kissing sound. So like all of that is just a little bit messy.
Industry season 2 airs Monday nights on HBO. And Emmy-winning actress Mary Louise Parker is 58 today, while Grammy-nominated singer Charlie XCX is 30. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Time now, 4:56, 78 degrees out.
And up next on GMSA at 5, we're going to look at what's next for Robb Elementary and the area after it is demolished, what city leaders are saying about a memorial.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Starting out with a live look out at the Alamo City, 78 now. Will we see another triple-digit day? We're en route for another record. We're going to explain with Mike in just a few moments. Good morning. It is Tuesday, August 2nd.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had a good day yesterday. So I know we hit the triple digits, but I felt like it was like not too bad. So now we're going on different degrees of triple digits, like okay triple digits and really, really hot triple digits.
Do you think it's just a mindset where internally you're like, oh, okay, it's only going to be double digits today, so it doesn't feel that hot?
Maybe. Yeah, that's quite possible. Mike, I don't know. Are we just seeing things or?
I think the heat's getting to us, and so yeah. Anyway, we did hit 100. We squeaked it out. Didn't quite keep enough clouds around to prevent the infamous triple digits for the start of August. So we obviously started the month right where we finished up in July, and it's just going to be getting hotter the next couple of days. We're at 78 right now, and that bottom number is at 70, which still very humid. But is it hot or really hot? Is it humid or really humid? It's just humid, not really humid. I know we're trying anyway to describe what's going on out there, but just a little bit more pleasant compared to yesterday. And more triple digits today. As a matter of fact, 101 for a high temperature, and then we will continue to add to that the next couple of days. The aquifer yesterday dropped down 0.6 of a foot. As I always say, check with your local municipality as far as watering restrictions. Mold is on the low side. That number had dropped down from the previous day's reading. All right, with even though humidity's down with these hotter temperatures, still have a bit of a heat index right now. 84 in Castroville is what it feels like. 80 Hondo at the airport, and 82 right now up the road at Canyon Lake. And like I said, mold is on the low side. That had come down from the previous day. All right, throughout the rest of today, 91 at noon, and then again 101. High temperature, wind out of the southeast, 15, 20 miles per hour, a little bit on the breezy side at times, but it's just that hot air blowing in your face. It's not comfortable at all. Perhaps a couple of just double-digit days later on in the week, maybe a shot at some rain, but wouldn't get too excited about it. It's going to be a hot August. Matter of fact, this is historically the hottest time of the year, and it's definitely living up to that. All the details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Good morning, Stephen. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Mike. Well, there is a lot to be excited about. If you are a driver getting ready to hit the roadways, let's get a look around town and see what you can expect for this Tuesday morning. 37 at Houston. Thankfully, not a lot to show you, just some quiet roadways. But hey, these are great pictures to show anyways. So you can see you're going to have a quiet start to this Tuesday morning commute. But as always, watch out. There could be an issue that pops up a little bit later on, but don't worry, we're going to get you through that. But thankfully, right now you are in the clear, and we got a lot of green to show you right there on the screen. Active construction spots. Now, we're going to talk about that as the morning does stay pretty quiet, but make sure that you plan ahead. In the next few minutes, you're going to need your phone, so also have that handy with you. But for now, if you are driving, put those phones away and make sure that you plan ahead. Thankfully, no need to worry, though, if you are going to be traveling into the Alamo City. I-10 eastbound, 24 minutes coming in from Bernie to the downtown area. 27 on 281 southbound traveling in from Bulverde, and a 25-minute drive time on I-35 southbound heading in from New Braunfels. So again, Tuesday off to a pretty quiet start. There's I-10 west at Loop 1604, I-10 at Hackberry. Again, don't forget those phones. We're going to have an update on construction spots in the next few minutes. Max, Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. Happening today, a city meeting in Uvalde over planning a memorial for the victims of the shooting at Robb Elementary.
Also, there are still many questions about the law enforcement response at Robb Elementary, and with sparking a lawsuit filed by several media outlets, including KSAT, over records that still have not been released. Our Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio to break down the latest. Sarah.
Good morning, Steph. Good morning, Max. So we do have a crew going to Uvalde today, where the city has a strategic planning committee that is set to meet over what kind of memorial will be built to honor the 19 children and 2 teachers. We know the school board has said that the Robb Elementary School building will be demolished. Now this special committee with the city will begin discussions on a creation of a memorial somewhere in Uvalde to honor and remember those victims. The meeting will start at noon. Again, we will have crews there, and we'll keep you updated on air and online. And there are still so many questions about the law enforcement response to the massacre at Robb Elementary. It's why KSAT, along with more than a dozen other media outlets, are suing the Texas Department of Public Safety over records they refuse to release. So take a look at your screen. Here's a list of some of those records that DPS is refusing to turn over. That includes a list of DPS personnel who responded that day, emergency communication records like emails, call logs, 911 records, and other records like unredacted body-worn camera footage, interview notes, forensic and ballistic records. DPS says they cannot release them, citing a pending investigation, but it appears to contradict what the agency selectively disclosed some information through public testimony, third-party analysis, and news reports. The news outlets include KSAT, which argues that there is no ongoing criminal investigation since the deceased shooter acted alone. The Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Busby has acknowledged that she is not conducting a criminal investigation. Some of those other media agencies include the Texas Tribune, ABC, CBS, NBC News, and the New York Times. This lawsuit has been filed under the Texas Public Information Act. You can read more in depth into this lawsuit right now on our website at ksat.com. Max and Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Renters and activists from a Northwest Side apartment complex say they've had enough of their current living conditions, so they took things up a notch. They went to Austin and they gave the property owners a piece of their mind. Renters from Seven Oaks Apartments and members of the Texas Organizing Project from across the Lone Star State, they brought signs, a megaphone, and their voices to the doorsteps of the Achieve properties in Austin. Achieve is linked with Achieve Investment Group, whose CEO is being singled out as a focus for people's frustration.
AC hasn't worked for the last going on 2 months now.
We've been reaching out to him, his office, his management. We're not getting any responses or any responses that are meaningful in any way.
San Antonio Code Enforcement has 24 citations so far against Achieve. They took over the property in late November. The company denies that they're trying to get rid of tenants. They say they want to fix issues in the units.
And it now looks like trash bins waiting for pickup in far west Bexar County for weeks will not get picked up at all. Just days after we brought you the story of Warrior Disposal's staffing troubles and long delays on the trash pickup, the company emailed customers on Monday saying they filed for bankruptcy and they would immediately halt any future pickups. The company's email makes no mention of refunds or how to return bins beyond saying not to drop them off at addresses that may have appeared online.
Time now 5:06, 78 degrees out.
And ahead on GMSA, Tiffany & Company jumping into the NFT space with the launch of its own collection. Your morning consumer news ahead.
Well, as the store owner didn't let his age stop him from catching a robber. The whole thing caught on camera. We have the video that's coming up next.
And taking a look outside with live cams starting at a mild 78 degrees compared to what we will face later this afternoon. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 5:10 this morning in California. An 80-year-old store owner turned the tables on a would-be robber.
So it happened yesterday near San Bernardino. The face-off all caught on the store's security cameras. Take a look. This is the convenience store owner, Craig Cope. He was ready when he saw a group of suspects approaching the store with guns. He strategically tucked a hidden shotgun behind the counter and actually shot one of the suspects in the arm. Now, the suspects, as you can see here, speeding off in a stolen BMW after nearly leaving one of their own suspects behind. Now, Cope kept an eye out on his cameras to make sure that they left.
I'm proud to call him my boss. He makes us feel better about being here, you know.
So Cope even then suffered a heart attack as the result of the traumatic event, but he is expected to make a full recovery. As for the suspects, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department says all 4 of them showed up at the hospital, 3 of them now in police custody. The guy who was shot, he is still recovering.
Scary.
Very, very scary. Time now 5:11, 78 degrees out.
And just ahead, Amazon is launching same-day delivery for popular mall brands. Details next in your Morning Tech Bites.
Did you know there are surfaces in your home that look clean, but a closer look shows there are often layers of invisible dirt left behind? Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser for a deep down hygienic clean. Magic Eraser removes the messes you can see, as well as more of the dirt and grime you don't. All you do is wet, squeeze, and start erasing dirt and grime all around the house. And try Magic Eraser Sheets for a deep clean in hard to reach places that you can toss when you're done. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser for a deep down hygienic clean all around the house.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Claritin provides non-drowsy symptom relief from over 200 indoor and outdoor allergens day after day. Feel the clarity and make today the most wonderful time of the year with Claritin Clear.
Age before beauty? Why not both? Visibly diminish
finish wrinkled skin in just 2 days. New Crit Corrector Lotion, only from Gold Bond. Championing your skin.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon is offering same-day deliveries from select brick-and-mortar stores. The company is partnering with shopping mall favorites like PacSun, GNC, Superdry, and Diesel. For now, the service is limited to 10 cities. It's free for Prime members who spend at least $25. Spotify's latest update will cost subscribers. The streaming service is addressing a user complaint by introducing separate play and shuffle buttons on album playlists, replacing the combine button. However, the new feature is only offered to Spotify premium subscribers. And Tiffany is getting into the NFT space, launching its own collection called NFTiff. The luxury brand plans to offer 250 items, and they're expected to sell for $50,000 each. It's possibly the most expensive public sale of any NFT in history. Those are Tech Bites.
Her face.
Mike's face was even better.
Yeah.
All right, so when you open an at-home COVID test, there are several components inside. So a KSAT viewer actually brought to our attention that there are different expiration dates on each piece.
So he wanted to know which expiration date to use. So Courtney Friedman checked multiple tests and ran it through the KSAT Trust Index.
Well, almost everyone has had to use one of these COVID-19 home test kits. If you haven't, you're very lucky. Maybe you should buy a lottery ticket. But if you know, you open them up and there are 3 separate components: the swab, the solution, and the test strip.
The iHealth box has an expiration date on the back. If you look closely, so do the swabs and solution, and all 3 are different. We also checked a Binax Now test, another brand sent out by the government. This box has an expiration date of April 26th, 2023. The swab is January 1st, 2027. Dr. Fred Campbell with UT Health San Antonio Internal Medicine says this can understandably cause confusion.
The expiration date on the outside of the box is generally considered to be the most important expiration date you can use, and the one that you should use over all others.
The expiration date on the box directly correlates with the test strip, arguably the most important part of the kit. And you can tell because there is no expiration date on the packaging or the strip itself.
The proof even more clear in the Binax tests, where there is a date on the strip package and it's the exact same as the one on the box.
And it could very well be that they are perfectly reliable up to those dates. But it would be I think a sad thing if you experienced either a false positive or a false negative because one of the components was not working properly.
So experts agree the best expiration date to use is the one on the box itself. That's a true on the KSAT Trust Index. Dr. Campbell also says the tests won't work at all if they're in extremely cold or hot temperatures. So make sure you know when you're getting yours delivered this summer so you can get them out of the heat. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
All right, time now 5:17, 78 degrees out. It was pretty calm and quiet last time we checked the roadways.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Calm and quiet's the way we like it. All right, let's get a look at road 37 at Hackberry. Not sure what's going on there. Looks like the camera's in black and white. But over here, 37 at Houston. Looks like you have a colorful start to your morning. 410 at Broadway. Not a lot going on over there. And as you get another look here at TransGuide, we are seeing 410 at Callahan. Just a few vehicles out there moving without any trouble. So Tuesday's off to a good start as we take you to the map. No issues to talk about just yet, but there are active construction spots. Here's another one. If you live over on the north side of San Antonio, bridge work that will continue to take place over off US 281. This is something that we talk about quite often. Monday, July 25th is when it started, but according to TxDOT, that will be wrapping on Thursday, August 4th. This is for those late night owls or early bird commuters. 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you can expect that work to take place at Wilderness Oak and Overlook Parkway intersection. That's where you're going to see that closure there. But of course, that information along with other construction spots is on our website. Grab those phones. I brought it to you earlier. We're going to scan this QR code that's going to pop up on your screen right now that will take you directly to our KSAT traffic page. And that has a list of all the closures taking place in and around the Alamo City. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right. So, Mike, yesterday, not the best omen for August.
No.
No.
I was hoping they'd get the omen of 99, but no, it did hit 100, and we're going to be hitting that again the next couple of days. And it was very clouded, and that's like, You know, the last time that we stayed just in the upper 90s last month, it's funny how it was dependent upon, it was inevitable that we were going to hit 100. You keep some clouds, you stay below that. So, you know, that's the trend we are in. And part of the reason for that is, or a big part of the reason, is because of the lack of rain, lack of moisture in the ground. So it heats up very, very quickly, very easily, absorbing all that heat from the sun. That's heating up the air around here. And if you had moisture in there, it would take a lot more energy, wouldn't get as hot. So that's the situation we are in. So it's kind of the benchmark being right around triple digit temperatures or even hotter than that. Kind of jump past that. Beautiful picture out there. Great shot. Couple of clouds hanging around there, but like I said, we didn't have enough to block the sunshine and got up to triple digits. We have mostly clear skies right now. It's really not bad when you step outside. Humidity is down ever so slightly. One thing, you know, we had a little bit of Sahara dust over the weekend, and it does look like we are going to be seeing a bit more of that coming in here. Not for a couple of days, though. Starting really late tomorrow night and then going into Thursday, it's going to start to thicken up somewhat, and throughout much of the day on Friday, then that should start to move on out of there. So that will just, of course, enhance any sort of sunsets we have out there, the nice orangey sunsets. 77 at 7 o'clock this morning, 79 at 8 o'clock, and then we'll make it up obviously through the 80s as we go on in through the rest of the morning. 91 at noon, and 101 high temperature today, and pretty good breeze coming in here out of the southeast primarily, keeping enough humidity around here, even though it does drop down in the afternoon, to keep the heat index at 104 later on today. Same thing, Carrizo Springs 107, hot spot there in Cotulla. No heat advisories, of course, goes without saying. You gotta take it easy. As far as any precipitation, nothing other than a couple of clouds here or there, and that'll be the case tomorrow and going into Thursday. Then we get into Friday, and there is a very small chance for a couple of showers around here, slightly better shot down along the coast. One of these little waves is going to try and move on in here again from the Gulf of Mexico. Not real great rain producers, but at least a little bit of something. That's going to be the case into Friday evening, and maybe even a couple of them, a few extra clouds, one or two perhaps as we go into Saturday, but that's pretty much about it. And again, rain chances are not that great at all. So unfortunately, nothing to get really excited about. 91 at noon today, partly cloudy, and high again up to 101. And then as we go into the next 7 days, we continue to rack up the triple digits. Thank you to Mr. Massey for pointing out I had a typo this morning. Wrong numbers there in the running tally of triple digits. Sunday will be, according to the forecast, day number 56, day number 57 of triple digits on Monday.
That would be the record.
Thank you for your keen eye.
And just pay attention to the forecast.
And paying attention, so yes.
You just didn't want to reach that record, maybe.
Oh, we're going to reach it. If it's not this week, it's next week.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, unless we were getting a ton of rain around here for a long period of time.
Which we definitely need.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, and we're more than a foot, about 14 inches behind just for the year. Oh, wow. But then to catch up, as far as ground moisture and all that, it would be almost another foot of rain on top of that.
Wow.
Which you don't want all at once, obviously.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
All right. Mike Osterhage, thank you so much. Time now 5:22, 79 degrees out.
And whether you're looking for thrills, chills, or the stories behind the headlines, there's a movie for you coming soon. The details next in your Spotlight News.
A lot going on in there. All right, pick 3, 909, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 8327, Fireball 1. I saw someone won a scratch off here in San Antonio that won $1 million.
Oh, nice. I wonder which store.
Ooh.
I'll have to look into that. Cash 579 19 32 35, and your Texas two-step 3 6 16 22, bonus ball 22. Your Powerball numbers 15 21 31 36 65, Powerball 16, Power Play 3. Good luck.
We're doing something Saturday. The three of us, best holiday of the year, just like always. It'll be wicked.
Friends vow to spend the night locked in a supposedly haunted Halloween store. What could go wrong? Here's a look at the first trailer for Spirit Halloween, the movie, which arrives on VOD October 11th.
Your commanding officer called you one of the best pilots he's ever seen. It must be hard being the naval aviator.
Absolutely.
Devotion, inspired by a true story, focuses on 2 elite U.S. Navy fighter pilots during the Korean War. Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft Country and Glenn Powell from Top Gun Maverick star in the war drama, which flies into theaters November 23rd.
You really don't understand the things that you have until they're washed away from you.
A year after Hurricane Katrina, the population of New Orleans had dropped by half, and 15 years later, 100,000 residents still had not returned. The documentary Forced Change looks at the effects of that massive displacement of people and whether climate change makes it more likely in more places. Forced Change is now available on digital platforms. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Wow, that looks incredibly powerful.
Yeah, very interesting.
All right, time now, 5:27, 78 degrees out.
And still ahead at 5:30, a city council meeting in Hondo gets heated over an NRA event just 2 months after the Robb Elementary shooting in Uvalde. What people had to say about it coming up next. Good morning. Let's look outside with live cam starting at 78 degrees. So yesterday we hit the triple digits, but at least they were the low triple digits, right? Right?
I like your cautious optimism. Yeah. Welcome back and good morning. It is Tuesday. It is August 2nd. And like Stephanie said, we hit the triple digits yesterday.
Yes, we did. I mean, not the way we wanted to start August, but at least it wasn't like 106, right, Mike?
Exactly. And again, the eternal optimist that she is, always looking for the glass being half full. So unfortunately, glass doesn't have much in it nowadays with the lack of rain around here. We do have a couple of clouds that are starting to form up. Temperatures are in the upper 70s right now. The dew point, well, it did go up 1 degree just in the past hour. We were down to 70 last hour, and it's a little bit more tolerable than, still humid, but not quite as humid as the past couple of days. But like I said, that is creeping up ever so slightly. And heat index with some of that humidity out there in these warm temperatures, 81 Castroville is what it feels like, 82 right now up the road at Canyon Lake. Mold is on the low side. It did drop down yesterday's reading from the previous day. A couple of clouds, again, kind of pleasant just compared to the past few days as far as the humidity is concerned. Mostly sunny. We are going to be up into the low hundreds again, and it's going to be getting hotter by tomorrow as well as on Thursday. So 101 today, 103s we're looking at tomorrow and Thursday. Then down a little bit by the end of the week, but then back up to triple digits. We'll get it all sorted out and perhaps a few showers mixed in there. Don't get really excited about that, unfortunately. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, anything going on?
Thankfully, things have been pretty quiet this morning, Mike. Let's get a look around town and see what drivers can expect for their morning commute. 35 at Main, you can see looks a little bit busier there, but 1604 at Bandera, it's looking like a ghost road. So just remember to drive safe. Although there are pretty quiet spots around town, we know the issues tend to pick up. If you were on 281 yesterday, man, I mean, there was a huge backup there due to a crash, but thankfully, at this point, 281 is in the clear, and so are other spots around town. 37 at Houston, 410 at Broadway. But again, quiet start to the morning doesn't mean it's necessarily quiet. We have plenty of construction to talk about, but that'll be a little bit later on. For now, if you're going to be traveling into the San Antonio area, you're not going to encounter any delays here, especially if you are traveling in from any of these communities. We are green across the board. I-10 westbound, if you are traveling in from Seguin to the downtown area, it's about half an hour there in those westbound lanes. A little more than half an hour traveling on 87 up in the northbound lanes coming up from Lavernia, and a 28-minute drive time for our friends down in Floresville. So don't rush when you head out the door. Enjoy your drive to wherever your destination is going to take you. US 90 in Oglitos getting a little bit busier as the morning picks up. We'll watch the roads closely, but as always, make sure you do the same. Max, Stuff.
Thank you, Stephen. This morning, we are gathering new details on an overnight stabbing near the downtown area. Now, police say a man in his 30s stabbed a man in his 50s in the leg during a fight. It happened on North Florida Street near North Laredo. The suspect ran off before the victim ran across the street to call police and EMS. The man was taken to University Hospital, and he is expected to be okay.
Well, the discussion of guns continues not only in Uvalde, but 40 miles to the east in the city of Hondo. The city council there confronted with heightened emotions over an event for the Friends of the National Rifle Association, the NRA. It was set to take place in Hondo. Now, Sarah Costa joins us live in studio with the result of that meeting. Sarah?
Good morning, Max. Hondo City Council voted to revoke the rental agreement with the Friends of NRA to use the Fair Hall, a city-ran facility. A fundraiser for the Friends of NRA was set to take place there this Saturday, where there were plans to rifle an AR-15 just 2 months after an assault-style weapon was used to kill 19 students and 2 teachers in Uvalde. People from Hondo and Uvalde, including family members of some of the Robb Elementary shooting victims, were in attendance, letting their displeasure of the event be heard. They were calling on the city council to stop this event from happening. The city council ultimately revoking the use of Fair Hall to the Friends of NRA. The mayor of Hondo saying the decision was made in the best interest of Hondo citizens, families of the victims calling it one of their first wins.
It's not about what they represent. It's about courtesy and compassion, and we're very happy.
A little shade of happiness, it can go a long way for us, because nothing ever gets us out of the grief and the feeling that we're in. So the fact that people are actually listening to us means a lot.
It's a slap in the face to do this so soon. You know, I mean, if the hands were reversed and they had this happen to them, I do not think that they would have appreciated us doing the same thing.
Well, not everyone celebrated the city council's decision, including several Friends of NRA members who spoke in favor of the event. Hondo City Councilman Brett Williams also disagrees with the council's decisions. He says the event does not equate to supporting what happened at Robb Elementary. The mayor says the city reserves the right to revoke the rental agreement if it's in the city's best interest. Now, KSAT 12 called the 3 organizers of the Friends of the NRA event to get a statement about the city council's decision. Those calls have not been returned at this time. Max and Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. Topping your morning headlines, a mission in Afghanistan is getting international praise.
A U.S. drone strike killing a 9/11 planner who President Biden says has targeted Americans for decades. CNN's Amy Kiley reports on the operation that took down an al-Qaeda leader.
Nobody attacks the United States and gets away with it.
The most wanted terrorist in the world is now dead. The White House confirms the U.S. has killed 9/11 planner Ayman Zawahiri in a drone strike. That's prompting praise for U.S. intelligence agencies and the military.
This is a very, very symbolic success to bring one of the last of the original al-Qaeda leaders who did so much damage around the world.
There have been months and maybe even years going into the targeting of Zawahiri.
President Joe Biden says the U.S. identified an optimal time to target Zawahiri about a week ago. He says the strike took place in Kabul, Afghanistan, Sunday morning local time.
None of his family members were hurt, and there were no civilian casualties.
The chair of 9/11 Families United is thanking those involved with the operation. She's also criticizing Biden for his recent trip to Saudi Arabia and former President Donald Trump for hosting a Saudi golf event. The group alleges that country helped fund the 9/11 attacks. The Saudi government denies that, and the 9/11 Commission found no proof of it. The White House says no American personnel were on the ground during the strike that killed Zawahiri.
It shows what our commitment is in terms of telling the American people in the world that we will not allow terrorism to go unchecked.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Time now, 5:37, 78 degrees out.
And still ahead, as we inch closer to our return to class, parents might be thinking of ways to pay for their students' meals. We're going to tell you how families can get free food at school.
And after the break, thousands of people showing up to this racetrack for a different kind of racing. You're not going to want to miss it. It's really adorable.
Cute video. Taking a look outside with a live cam, starting your Tuesday morning at 78 degrees. Not too bad. We'll be right back.
This morning, it's an age-old question, especially here in San Antonio. How can you keep your pups cool? So a clothing company and veterinarians in Japan teaming up to create, take a look, a wearable fan device for your pets. It's a small portable fan. It attaches to a special mesh outfit and it blows cool air onto dogs or onto cats. The creator says she actually got an idea from air-conditioned jackets that construction workers wear in rough conditions.
Take a look at this video. Thousands of people turned out to this racetrack in Minnesota, not for horse racing, but these corgis.
They're moving.
Giving it their all in front of cheering fans. Yes, they are. The event featured 72 corgis competing for a chance at Best in Show. The winner was a pooch named Teddy. However, the dog races are not over. Wiener dogs will compete on August 14th, the grand finale, Labor Day weekend, when the best of each breed competes for the Bark in the Park Championship.
They all look so happy, too.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I like how they're looking at each other while they're passing, too.
But they don't look like they're being competitive, just like, hey, what's going on? Like, what are you doing?
Hello. Time now, 5:42, 78 degrees out.
And coming up in just minutes, inflation and high prices are limiting people's budgets. How you can get the most bang for your buck with back-to-school shopping. And welcome back. It's 5:44. So back-to-school shopping isn't as much fun as it used to be.
As a parent, was it ever fun?
It has its moments.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like those. Good answer.
Yeah.
So inflation and high prices now limiting so many families on what you can get. So have you ever thought about hitting up a thrift shop?
Well, RJ Marcus went to one on the northwest side, and tonight he's going to show you how you can get the most bang for your buck.
Patricia Hernandez is a Northside ISD teacher and mom. Today, she's visiting Thrift City in Leon Valley to shop for her daughter and herself.
I like to look for the best prices, but I feel that coming here, it's just so well worth it. For the money, for my gas time.
As students get set to start the school year, many families are struggling with the rising costs of back-to-school shopping. Hernandez says thrift shops are a good way to stretch your dollar.
I find it all at one place, and yes, it's a little used, but it's okay.
Definitely have some cute shoes.
Melissa Tulos works at Thrift City and says she's seen more families come in lately looking for a bargain.
A lot of clothing, a lot of shoes as well, Shoes have gotten very expensive as everything kind of has.
The National Retail Federation says families plan to spend an average of $864 on school items, about $15 more than last year. And spending has increased since the start of the pandemic as families send kids back to classrooms.
So we took a look at some of the back to school supplies here at Thrift City, and we want to start here with this binder that is $2 priced at. Check out this Hurley backpack that is $4 here at Thrift City, and this Super Mario Brothers youth backpack, which is $6. So all in all, these three items, 2 backpacks, a binder, $12 total.
Melissa says people should think about thrift. They could find great deals and quality items.
Anything that would be unusable or is a lower quality, we would not put out on the floor. Our goal is to put out usable, good items for people.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
So as parents prepare for the new school year, some might be thinking of ways to pay for students' meals. So all of this comes as the waiver for free breakfast and lunch provided by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Well, that waiver expires.
However, there is still a way for families to get free food at school. Depending on the age and the school district, school breakfast can cost up to $40 per month and $70 per month for lunch. So to get free or reduced lunches, parents will need to submit an application through the National School Lunch and School Breakfast programs. On our website right now, we have a list of all the nearby school districts with a link to fill out those applications.
Well, tick bites can cause all sorts of disease, from Lyme to Rocky Mountain spotted fever. But did you know one type of tick can actually bring on food allergies?
Ursula Perry reports it's called the Lone Star tick, and while it was once just a southern thing, it is spreading.
It might look harmless, but one bite from this little bug could change your whole life. If it attaches, the Lone Star tick can trigger a severe allergic reaction to mammal meat such as beef, pork, and lamb.
This is really the first example of a food allergy being driven by an exposure to something else like an insect bite.
People with the allergy may develop hives, swelling, wheezing, diarrhea, or even life-threatening anaphylaxis when they eat red meat. Symptoms usually begin just a few hours after exposure, and the allergy appears to be a lifelong problem for most. It happens because of the tick bite. It causes some people to develop a strong immune response to a sugar molecule called alpha-gal, which is found in the tick bite and red meat.
So patients become sensitized by the tick bite, and then later when they eat red meat can have an allergic reaction.
Though the Lone Star tick is most common in southern regions, its territory is expanding to areas in the Midwest and Northeast, in part due to global warming. Ticks thrive in warm and humid conditions, and it can cause a number of other illnesses, too. The CDC estimates that between 2004 and 2019, the number of tick-borne illnesses in the U.S. more than doubled. Experts say prevention measures are your best defense.
About 30% of the patients who end up with a meat allergy from this also end up with a dairy intolerance. The good news is they can still eat fish and chicken. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
It's terrifying.
A little bit.
A little bit. All right. You know what's not terrifying? The traffic out there right now. But with my luck, I'll say that and something bad will happen.
Well, we're going to keep our fingers crossed after that, Max. But thankfully, things have been pretty quiet and not terrifying on the roads. They've actually been pretty terrific as we get a look around town. I-10 West at Loop 1604. Now, we know that although these roads are quiet at this point, 6 a.m. is really when things start to change because more folks will get out on the roadway, probably heading to work. But for now, you are in luck, so perfect time to head out and get the day started early with us. But just remember to drive safe. Taking you right to the map. Nothing scary to show you here, just some quiet roadways, lots of green on the screen. But although we see that, we know that crews are getting ready to do some road work around the Alamo City. Here's a spot to watch out for. We mentioned this yesterday. State Highway 181 right here in Bexar County. Seal coat work. Now that's going to make the roads look nice and pretty, but that will be continuing up until Friday, August 5th. Now crews will be out there from 7 in the morning all the way into 8 in the evening, according to TxDOT. But we all know that they will get out there getting the work convoys and everything prepared a little bit earlier, so just make sure you give yourself time for that. Single southbound lane closure from I-37 to Corpus Christi Road is when you can expect that impact. So again, just remember to plan ahead. That information on our website, ksat.com/traffic. You can head over there for other construction spots, but back here on TransGuide, things are moving just fine.
Good news there.
Yeah.
Our viewer Yvonne always sending nice pictures.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this was from yesterday, obviously. Beautiful, beautiful sunrise out there. And should have a good looking sunrise again today and the next couple of days because they're not going to have a whole lot of clouds hanging around here. We'll see a few of our morning clouds develop. Obviously, we're not seeing any hint of the sunrise yet. It's still about an hour or so before it decides to come over the horizon. So probably next weather hit right after the top of the hour, we'll maybe see a little bit of the glow of the sunrise. 78 degrees right now. We are 2 degrees above the normal average low temperature, which is actually now we are in the hottest part of the year. Historically, 97 and 76 are the average normal high and low, respectively, now through the 11th of August. And then the average high temperature, 97, actually goes all the way in through the 16th of August. 79 right now, Castroville, and throughout the rest of the morning. Again, a few of those morning clouds are going to be developing. We'll stay in the upper 70s. Then, obviously, start the warming process and get up into the mid-upper 80s late morning, 91 at noon, and we're going to be topping off at 101. Yep, we did hit 100 yesterday, not quite enough in the way of clouds to prevent us from hitting 100. And then, of course, there'll still be enough humidity left over this afternoon to put the heat index 104 here in town. Same thing, Honda 105, Pleasanton 107 in Cotulla. Doesn't take much to get those heat index readings up there, so stay in the shade as much as possible. And still, and this has been going on for, gosh, the past at least 3 weeks or so, nothing in the tropics from the Hurricane Center. A couple of clouds obviously out here, but there's just nothing going on right now. We are obviously 2 months into the tropical season, and it does peak right around the second week of September. But like I said, as of right now and for at least the next 48 to 72 hours, nothing's going to be developing out there. Here's the long-range computer model. A couple of clouds here and there. It's going to be about it. Same thing tomorrow. Actually, it's going to get hotter tomorrow and Thursday. Then we do have for Friday one of these little waves kind of coming on in here. Again, this model tends to paint with a broad brush, but at least there's going to be the chance for some rain on Friday, albeit a small chance of rain. Same thing on Saturday. Just a couple of these showers kind of hanging around the area. So I've always been, or have been saying for the past few weeks, yes, there is a chance, but don't get your hopes too high for any rain. 91 at noon, partly cloudy skies. 101 high temperature today. Yep, going to be another hot one, and we continue to add up and actually get hotter. So 55 days at triple digits by Thursday, and then a slight break with those rain chances. Again, banking on a few more clouds to keep temperatures just below 100, albeit 99. Does sound cooler but back to 100s by Sunday and Monday.
See, at least yesterday there was like a chance we didn't hit 100, but Wednesday and Thursday it looks like a lock.
Yeah, and today pretty much so as well, because we're not going to have any clouds around there, and that's now almost just this summer, the benchmarks, the norm. 100, are we going to vary from there?
Yeah.
As opposed to will we hit 100?
August usually hotter.
Yes, but not this hot, usually.
We'll take that.
Thank you, Mike. Time now, just about 5:55, 78 degrees out.
Quick look at the roads with Transguide again. Looking there at Loop 410 at Callahan and Loop 410 at Old Pearsall Road. Things are moving fine.
Take a look at those lotto numbers. Pick 3, 909, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 8327, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 7, 9, 19, 32, 35. Your Texas 2-stop, 3, 6, 16, 22, bonus ball 22. And your Powerball numbers 15, 21, 31, 36, 65, Powerball 16, Powerplay 3. Good luck.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, new details on that drone strike that killed the leader of Al-Qaeda and at his home in Afghanistan. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is going to join us live to discuss. And then the primaries across the nation in 5 states today, plus abortion on the ballot in Kansas for the first time since the Supreme Court ruling. We'll tell you what's at stake, and our correspondents are in at least 2 states this morning. We're going to have that and so much more on Good Morning America.
Time now, 5:57, 78 degrees out. Still a lot to come here on GMSA. Amazon says they're now offering same-day deliveries. We're going to explain where you can pick the stuff up and how much it's going to cost you. Plus, do you read to your children? It's one of the most important things you could do for the family. We're going to explain next. And after the break, Sarah Costa bringing us the latest details of a terrifying, deadly shooting inside a Northside gym. Why police say it was a targeted situation.
And taking a look outside with a live cam here at 6 in the morning. Not too bad at 78 degrees. Now is the time to do your outdoor activities if you can.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is August 2nd. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. So yesterday you said you made it out and about. Did you,
I did in the afternoon.
Avoid the heat? Did you take it in?
I mean, it wasn't too bad, but maybe because I was just, in and out of the vehicle and, in and out of my daughter's volleyball practice. And then it was a gymnastics practice. But, it's in the AC, so lucky there. I don't know. I didn't feel too bad, but we did hit the triple digits. Yeah.
Shakes his head.
Yeah.
Hit 100. Couldn't keep enough clouds around. You're talking about any outdoor activities, and for a moment I was going to say, well, except for cutting the grass, because your neighbors would frown upon that. But
I thought about that.
Who's got grass to cut nowadays?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
lawns are looking pretty sad.
Oh, goodness gracious. And yeah, there's no decent rain in the forecast still. I mean, maybe a couple of showers by the end of the week, but as we've been saying for the past forever, don't count on rain. Don't get too excited about it. Not really seeing the glow of the sun yet. Should be in the next few minutes. We're at 80 right now as far as what it feels like when you step outside with the humidity. Temperature is 78 and 81 in Castroville. We do have low amount of mold in the atmosphere as of right now, and throughout the rest of today, temperatures will stay kind of mid-upper 70s. We'll have a few of those morning clouds hanging around here, a lot more sunshine as the day rolls on, and we'll make it all the way up to 91 at noon. Then, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be another triple-digit day. We'll have a decent breeze out there, out of the south-southeast, 15-20 miles per hour, a little bit even gusty on top of that. Just that hot hair dryer seems like blowing in your face. 101 for a high temperature today. And hate to say it, but it is going to be getting hotter the next couple of days. Slight reprieve in temperatures, at least for a couple of days. We'll talk about that and take a look ahead to the first weekend of August coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, what's going on, Steve? It's been pretty quiet in your corner of this.
Happy day over here, Mike. All right, let's get a look at the roadways as we continue to see more people wake up with us and get their day started. But as Steph mentioned, it's probably a good time to maybe get some other errands done that wouldn't really wake up your neighbors. But thankfully, this traffic has been pretty quiet and calm as the morning has continued to roll on. We're just seeing a few more folks out there now that we are in the 6 a.m. hour. But we all know 6 a.m. is the hour where things really start to pick up. So just remember to drive safe, both hands on the wheel, both eyes on the road. Let's take you to the map because no slowdowns to report, but it does appear we do have a stall that looks like it popped up near I-10 and Crossroads. We'll find out how that's impacting traffic. But as a reminder, check your vehicles before you head out on the roadways. Last place you want to be stranded is along the highway, especially when the sun is not out yet. But let's go ahead and take a look at those travel times because you're not going to need to rush out the door if you're coming into San Antonio from any of these neighboring communities. 37 looks pretty pleasant from Pleasanton in the northbound lanes with 28 minutes at this hour. About half an hour usual drive time on Highway 90 in the eastbound lanes heading in from Castroville. The arrival from Lytle going to be about 16 minutes off I-35 northbound. So again, no trouble there. We're seeing some pretty quiet areas as we take one last look at TransGuide. But of course, we will have more updates on construction. That'll be coming up a little bit later on GMSA. Max stuff.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a man behind bars accused of murder last week in Pleasanton. The Atascosa County Sheriff's Office says Leonard Douglas Jr. was involved in the murder of Joe Hernandez. His body was found last week on Lucas Road in the Black Hill community. Douglas was arrested yesterday afternoon.
And a man shot in the back of the head while working out. That is what one witness saw before that man fell to the ground and the suspect ran off. This deadly shooting happened at an LA Fitness on the north side last night. Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio. And Sarah, do police have the suspect?
Good morning, Steph. The alleged shooter is in custody this morning. Police say after the suspect ran from the gym, police were able to quickly catch up with him and took him into custody without incident. A man is dead after that shooter went up to him while he worked out at an LA Fitness in the 7100 block of Blanco just after 7 last night. When police arrived, they found the victim dead, who had been shot once in the head. The gunman left the gym and started going down the sidewalk toward a nearby car dealership. That's where officers approached him and took him into custody. Police say the suspect did not have a gun on him, but there was a weapon recovered near the suspect when they found him. SAPD believes the victim was targeted in the shooting. The victim's name has not been released, just that he is a 34-year-old male. One witness described to us what he saw.
He just walked up right to him point blank and just aired him out like it was like in a movie. The dude could probably feel the gun on his head before it.
It's unclear what motive the shooter had, and police are still speaking with witnesses as they investigate further. Now, this is the second shooting at the Northside Gym in a little over a year. The shooting back in July of 2021 was also deadly. Stephanie?
Thank you, Sarah. A San Antonio man will spend 8 years in prison for a disturbing case of child pornography. Now, police say Anthony Speller pleaded guilty back in May to 60 counts of possession of child pornography. A tip about Speller helped investigators find thousands of those images across his many mobile devices. Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez says Speller wasn't just looking at these images, but he was also creating new ones. And to your morning headlines, with U.S.-China relations at a low point, all eyes are on U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's tour of Asia this week, specifically her stop in Taiwan. The White House and Chinese embassy to the U.S. say they're worried about China's response to such a high-profile visit, since Pelosi has been a critic of the Chinese Communist Party. Pelosi, along with several other members of Congress, are expected to land in Taiwan later today.
Now to the backlash over a proposed suspension for NFL quarterback Deshaun Watson. It is the latest twist in this years-long sexual misconduct investigation and scandal. ABC's Andrew Dimbert explains.
This morning, hours after returning to the practice field for the Cleveland Browns and being greeted by cheers from fans, new reaction to NFL star Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension in his sexual misconduct scandal.
That's mind-blowing to me.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
I thought it would be many more games.
24 civil lawsuits were brought against Watson, in which he was accused of sexual assault and inappropriate conduct during massage sessions. All but one have been settled with no admission of wrongdoing. Retired Judge Sue Robinson, who was appointed by the NFL and the Players Union to oversee Watson's case, described his conduct as predatory and said Watson had not expressed remorse. The league initially asked for a suspension of at least 1 year and a fine of at least $5 million, but Judge Robinson found Watson's actions did not fall into the category of violent conduct, which would have supported more severe disciplinary action, instead settling on 6 games.
Deshaun Watson was, I feel, credibly accused by 24 women of some type of sexual misconduct. So that's what, 1/4 of a game suspension per accuser.
Although Watson won't get paid during the 6 games, the Cleveland Browns anticipated a suspension and structured his $230 million contract in a way that will see him forfeit less than $500,000. Watson and the Players Association have agreed to the suspension and are urging the NFL to do the same. But it's Commissioner Roger Goodell who will have the final word on the quarterback's punishment.
Roger Goodell's going to decide it, and if the league wanted a year, give him a year, because the reaction to me from listening to it today has been like 70 to 80%, if not more. Oh my God, how light is this?
So a lawyer representing many of Watson's accusers called this decision of 6 games a slap in the face. The NFL now has 3 days from that decision to either agree to the suspension or appeal it. We do expect more developments throughout the day, especially on Good Morning America starting at 7 a.m.
And monkeypox cases are still being monitored. And here in San Antonio, we have 13 cases, the same amount as Friday.
But cases continue to rise in other parts of the country. Nearly 5,200 cases scattered across the United States. California's governor declaring a state of emergency over monkeypox. California now the second state in just the last 3 days to take this step. The President Joe Biden, not declaring monkeypox a national emergency. The illness is primarily spread through skin-to-skin contact, but can also be spread through contaminated clothes or bedding.
And looking ahead, Metro Health is hosting a forum Thursday to answer your monkeypox questions. That is from 7 to 8 at night at Woodlawn Point on Donaldson Avenue. So Spanish and sign language interpreters will also be available.
Headed to your consumer headlines, factories around the United States are slowing down a bit. Growth in manufacturing hitting its lowest point in the last 2 years. So according to the Institute for Supply Management, there is some good news. The survey of purchasing managers have also signaled inflation may be slowing and supply chain issues may be easing.
And over in Washington, D.C., the Department of Justice is suing to try and stop a major merger in the publishing industry. The governor says a proposal by Penguin Random House to buy Simon & Schuster would cut competition and lead to higher prices.
And Amazon now offering same-day deliveries from certain brick-and-mortar stores. The company partnering with shopping mall favorites like PacSun, GNC, Superdry, and Diesel. For now, the service is limited to just 10 cities, but it is free for Prime members who spend at least $25.
Spotify has a new update, but only if you pay for it. The streaming service is addressing a user complaint by introducing separate play and shuffle buttons on album playlists, which replaces the combined button. However, we are told the new feature is only offered to Spotify Premium subscribers.
Do you use Spotify?
No, I have Apple.
Okay.
No, maybe, but I've heard great things about it. Maybe I should give it a try.
That's fair. I don't subscribe, but I have Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't pay for the.
Well,
I go free.
You go free.
I get ads, but it's worth it. Time now 6:11, 79 degrees out.
And still to come, an important warning from a mom to other parents this morning after her son nearly died from a tick bite. What she wants you to know to keep your little one safe. Details ahead in your GMA First Look.
Plus, a corgi lucky to be alive after being shot in the head. After the break, we're going to tell you that story and some other headlines trending right now on KSAT.com.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we have that mild 78 degrees going for us right now at 6:11 a.m. Take full advantage of this nice 70s, right? We'll be right back. And trending right now on KSAT.com, a Pennsylvania corgi is recovering after being shot in the head and left for dead. This corgi named Arthur wandered onto a family farm with a head wound that the property owners initially thought he had gotten from crawling under that fence. Well, it turned out Arthur had been shot at an angle that miraculously missed his brain. Pennsylvania's humane law enforcement team is investigating this shooting.
And back here at home, renowned comedian Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias coming back to San Antonio this coming fall, set to perform at the AT&T Center in October. Iglesias has made history this year by becoming the first comedian to sell out Dodger Stadium. So the show covering the event will air as a Netflix special later this year. Dodger Stadium is huge.
Yeah.
That is quite a feat.
A lot of fans there.
All right, let's take a look out at the roadways. Steven, how are we looking out there?
So pretty good. I was actually just coming through some of the TransGuide cameras right now. We have about 20 shots of these cameras, 20 views, I should say, but really there are over 200 around the Alamo City. And so we want to make sure that we can watch these areas closely. But for now, everything that we're spotting looks pretty good. Just getting a tad bit busier as we're getting closer to that busy morning rush. So just remember, don't rush out the door. Right now, enjoy your drive wherever your drive is going to take you. Taking you right to the map. As I said before, it's still pretty quiet, seeing lots of green on the screen. We have detected a stall somewhere off US 90. Looks like that could be near Nogalitos. You could see it right there on the map, but not causing any issues for drivers this early in the morning. However, plan ahead because there's going to be some construction spots to be on the lookout for. We've talked about this one before. 281, bridge work that is taking place there, and it is overnight. That will be taking place from 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning. Crews look like they've been wrapping up, but that is Thursday, August 4th. Wilderness Oak and Overlook Parkway intersection will be closed during that time. So as we all know, 281 is a pretty busy spot. We see lots of construction out there. So just make sure that you plan your commute throughout the week. But of course, that information along with other construction spots on our website. Grab your phones, scan that QR code. Once again, that will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page that has a list of all the closures taking place in and around our area. And of course, anything else that could be impacting your drive time. But check out US 90 at Nogalitos. We want to show you that's where we are seeing that stall right over here. So just make sure that you watch out carefully.
We will. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. Mike, anything going on with the weather other than it being hot?
Nothing out there, really. I mean, no changes, no rain in the short term, and nothing going on in the tropics. So, yeah, we are definitely in the, I guess you call these the doldrums. A little bit of I don't know if you can see it in this picture too much, but a little bit of a glow of the morning sunrise. Although in some of those TransGuide cameras, there were fewer clouds. So it just is really dependent on where you are. But a couple of clouds hanging around this morning. 78 degrees in town, Pleasanton right now at 79, and that top number dew point is at 71. So yeah, we do have some humidity out there this morning. It's not ridiculously humid, but enough. And yeah, here's the Texas rain gauge. I didn't get enough rain to fill up a bottle cap at all. That's not a pretty sight.
No.
No. And maybe a sprinkly shower by the end of the week. We're almost 13.5 inches behind where we should be for the year, and we've only had about 2/3 of an inch officially out there at the airport since going back to June 1st, which is the start of meteorological summer. All right, this is the hottest time of the year historically. I know this is no breaking news right now as far as where we've been since May, but the normal high temperature is 97 degrees. That's the case through the 16th of the month. The normal low starting yesterday is 76 degrees. That goes through the 11th. So through the 11th is the hottest time as far as the high and the low. Obviously, the normal high temperature of 97 degrees goes through the 16th. And then by the end of the month, each of these goes down by about 3 degrees roughly, and it starts to drop off fairly quickly. At least the average normal low temperature or high normal temperatures, beg your pardon, they'll drop down by almost 10 degrees each and every month for through September. Then through October drops off fairly quickly and then starts to level off once we get into December. Look at that. We're already talking about trying to cool down by December, but ain't cooling down in this forecast. 79 Castroville, Devine 77, same thing at Hondo. Throughout the rest of the morning, we'll have some clouds around here. Temperatures then, once that sun comes up, warm up fairly quickly, and we'll make it up through the 80s, 91 at noon, same old song and dance, and get up to 101 high temperature later on this afternoon. Decent breeze out there as well. As far as any rain, like I said, nothing to fill up that bottle cap in the next couple of days. Perhaps by Friday, a couple of showers. We get this little disturbance trying to come in here from the Gulf of Mexico. Again, this is sort of a broad brush painting in the rain chance there. Not great. I think if you do get some rain, perhaps a bottle cap's worth, and that would be about it. But most of us, it's just going to be a dry forecast around here and hot. We'll see slight reprieve in temperatures by the end of the week, and then it's back to triple digits. So 91 at noon, and again, 101 high temperature today. This will be day number 53, pardon me. I've lost track there for a minute. And then we're going to continue to rack them up tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it's hotter tomorrow as well as Thursday, 103s both days. Like I said, slight bit of a reprieve with a couple of extra clouds around here on Friday, Saturday. back to counting triple digits by Sunday morning. Yes, sir.
But even if we get the showers, that is more so just to cool it down. That won't actually help us with the drought.
Oh, no, it's not going to be any. I mean, a couple of stray showers here and there, some free lawn watering briefly. That would be about it. So it'd be cloud cover, if anything, that would, keep things down ever so slightly. But
and when I say cool it down, I mean just to 99.
Right.
All right.
It's all relative.
We'll take that at this point.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Time now, 6:21, 78 degrees out.
And Tiger Woods is turning down hundreds of millions of dollars. Just ahead, we'll show you why.
Trelegy for COPD.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on.
If you've been playing down your COPD,
it's a new dawn, it's a new day.
It's time to make a stand. Start a new day with Trelegy.
And I'm feeling good.
No once daily COPD medicine has the power to treat COPD in as many ways as Trelegy. With 3 medicines in 1 inhaler, Trelegy helps people breathe easier and improves lung function. It also helps prevent future flare-ups. Trelegy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trelegy more than prescribed. Trelegy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Take a stand and start a new day with Trelegy. Ask your doctor about once daily Trelegy and save at Trelegy.com.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a parenting alert about tick bites.
Things got really, really scary.
As 3-year-old Johnny went for a swim in Pennsylvania back in June, his mom Jamie noticed a tick on his shoulder.
Grabbed it with a little pair of tweezers. It came right off.
Jamie watched as her toddler spiked high fevers, slept all day and night, even losing some speech. Johnny was hospitalized. Doctors discovering swelling in Johnny's brain.
My arm is very bad.
Your arm is very bad? Just days after being released, finally a diagnosis. Johnny had Powassan virus, a tick-borne illness causing an infection of the brain. The disease is rare, but increasingly diagnosed. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the important warning signs to look out for to keep you and your children safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ariel Reshef, ABC News, New York.
Now to the sports world, Tiger Woods reportedly said no to $800 million. That's what he was offered to join LIV, the Saudi-backed golf series. So ESPN reports Woods had been critical of players who left the PGA for LIV. That includes past major champions, got Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, Phil Mickelson, and Brooks Koepka. The new tour is offering guaranteed contracts reportedly worth between $100 and $200 million. And that is not even counting all the prize money.
Wow.
I will say it's probably easier for Tiger to say no to $800 million because he has more than that.
Good point.
Time now, 6:26, 78 degrees out.
And here's a look at what's coming up in our next half hour.
One of the world's most wanted terrorists has been killed in a U.S. airstrike. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, where the former leader of al-Qaeda was hiding.
Good morning. Let's look outside with live cam right now. We're at 78 degrees. We were hoping that we would only hit 99 yesterday. However, we hit those triple digits, but at least they were the low triple digits, right?
Yeah,
not too bad.
Bringing the silver lining this morning. Good morning. It is Tuesday. It is August 2nd. Thank you so much for joining us. We saw the sunlight peeking out there in the clouds.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice morning because we're still in the 70s for now. Let's enjoy that.
Stephanie always makes things sound better, no matter what it is. Thank you. It's low triple digits, so yeah, but it's still going to be really hot today. And yeah, a little bit of, we had some peaks of the sunrise there. You can see a little bit of the orange glow right there along the horizon, but some of our morning clouds obviously have moved on in, but other places bit more in the way of clearer skies, less clouds. 78 right now. 71 is the dew point. Southerly wind 9. That means there's a fair amount of humidity out there. Although walking out the door this morning, it just wasn't like in your face sort of humidity. It was a bit more tolerable. 81 is the heat index in Castroville, 80 Canyon Lake, and 82 is what it feels like Stinson as well as Pleasanton. Mold is on the low side. And yep, another triple digit day. A few clouds around this morning. Kind of pleasant, and then mostly sunny, low 100, so still okay according to Stephanie. she'll make it sound okay. And it's going to get hotter, though, in the next couple of days. We're looking at 103s both tomorrow as well as on Thursday. A slight reprieve in temperatures. They go down a bit, then right back up. All the details for the first weekend of August coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Steven, still got that problem over there on the, access road?
Yeah, US 90 at Nogalitos. Looks like we have it actually right there in TransGuide. Mike, looks like we could be seeing the end of this. I'm going to actually step out because you can't really see it there. But again, it is on the access road, as Mike was mentioning. Just anytime you see a situation like that, even if they're not flashing lights, vehicles off to the side, move over, slow down. US 90 is one of those busy spots, especially as the morning picks up. People traveling in from Castroville, so we know that will be a very heavily trafficked area, so just watch out anytime you see a vehicle off on the side like that. But thankfully, nothing else major to talk about. I really want to get a look around town. You can see there I-10 West at Loop 1604. Other areas are showing a pretty quiet and normal start to the morning. Taking you right to the map, though, nothing major to see here. We just do have that stall up toward I-10, so just watch out there. And again, check those vehicles. Nothing major to report, thankfully, at this hour as we get one last look around town. 1604 up in Bandera. The morning is up. People are moving, so we will continue to watch the roads closely. Have more updates on construction in the next few minutes. Max?
Thank you, Stephen. Happening today, a city meeting in Uvalde planning the memorial for victims of Robb Elementary.
Also, there are still many questions about the law enforcement response at Robb Elementary, sparking a lawsuit filed by several media outlets, including KSAT, over records that still have not been released. Our Sarah Costa joins us live in the studio to break down the very latest. Sarah.
Hey, good morning, Steph and Max. We do have a crew going to Uvalde today where the city has a strategic planning committee that is set to meet over what kind of memorial will be built to honor the 19 children and 2 teachers. We know the school board has said that the Robb Elementary School building will be demolished. Now, this special committee with the city will begin discussions on a creation of a memorial somewhere in Uvalde to honor and remember the victims. The meeting will start at noon. Again, we will have crews there and we'll keep you updated on air and online. And there are still many questions about the law enforcement response to the massacre at Robb Elementary. It's why KSAT, along with more than a dozen other media outlets, are suing the Texas Department of Public Safety over records they refuse to release. So just take a look at your screen. Here is a list of those records that DPS is refusing to turn over. That includes a list of DPS personnel who responded, emergency communication records like emails, call logs, 911 records, and other records like unredacted body-worn camera footage, interview notes, forensic and ballistic records. DPS says they cannot release them, citing a pending investigation, but it appears to contradict what the agency selectively disclosed, some information through public testimony, third-party analysis, and other news reports. The news outlets, including KSAT, argue that there is no ongoing criminal investigation since the deceased shooter acted alone. Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Busby has acknowledged that she is not conducting a criminal investigation. Some of those other media agencies include the Texas Tribune, ABC, CBS, NBC News, and the New York Times. This lawsuit has been filed under the Texas Public Information Act. You can read more in depth into this lawsuit on our website right now at KSAT.com. Max and Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. This morning we have new details on an overnight crash involving an SUV and a house. So take a look at this. Police say 2 men in a white sedan were speeding down South Laredo Street west of downtown. They lost control of that car, jumped the curb, and drove straight through a fence in someone's yard, clipping the side of a house. The driver and passenger ran off. There was minimal damage, though, to the house.
New this morning, we're digging up new details on a deadly double shooting involving 2 teens on Pleasanton Road. Police tell us 15-year-old Angel Garcia and 19-year-old Gregorio Cordova Mejio shot and killed. All of this in the 1700 block of Pleasanton Road. Now, police are still investigating, but as of right now, no suspects in custody, and they are still trying to figure out why this all happened. We have all the details right now at KSAT.com.
And happening right now, small business owners in San Antonio who have been affected by the pandemic can now apply for a grant through the city. From now until Monday, August 22nd, business owners can apply for grants ranging from $15,000 to $35,000, along with a construction impact supplement worth $10,000. The money comes from the American Rescue Plan Act and was put together in a fund by the city of San Antonio.
Topping your morning headlines, the leader of Al-Qaeda and one of the world's most wanted terrorists killed in a United States drone strike in Afghanistan.
President Biden addressing the nation from the White House. ABC's Ike Ajachi has the details.
This morning, Ayman al-Zawahiri, al-Qaeda's leader and a member of the FBI's most wanted list, has been killed in a precision U.S. airstrike in Kabul, Afghanistan.
I authorized a precision strike that would remove him from the battlefield once and for all.
He's been hiding for more than 20 years, a senior administration official calling it a successful counterterrorism operation with no civilian casualties. The CIA briefing President Biden in April that Zawahiri was believed to be living in a safe house in this area, which he never left. Over the weekend, Biden authorizing the strike, firing 2 Hellfire missiles at al-Zawahiri as he stepped onto the balcony of the safe house.
Justice has been delivered, and this terrorist leader is no more. People around the world no longer need to fear the vicious and determined killer.
Experts say Hellfire missiles are extremely precise. They don't explode. Instead, the missiles are equipped with razor-like blades, which slices through a target.
So it will go through and essentially vaporize a human body, but somebody standing within feet of this person would not be injured at all.
Al-Zawahiri was second in command to Osama bin Laden at the time of the 9/11 terror attacks. He took over as the leader of al-Qaeda after U.S. forces killed bin Laden. He was found in a crowded section of Afghanistan's capital less than a year after U.S. forces pulled out of the country.
No matter how long it takes, no matter where you hide, if you are a threat to our people, the United States will find you and take you out.
And we're learning the strike happened in a wealthy part of Kabul, just walking distance from the U.S. Embassy. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
In other headlines, high-stakes primary elections are happening in 5 states today. Kansas is the first state to put abortion on the ballot since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Voters will decide if residents will continue to have the right to an abortion under the state constitution versus giving state lawmakers the power to restrict it. Another closely watched race is Republican primary for governor in Michigan.
And the deadly McKinney fire in Northern California, burning paths of destruction. It is now over 55,000 acres in size. And so far, the blaze is deadly, killing at least 2 people since it started on Friday near the California-Oregon border. It's forced thousands of families to evacuate. This blaze, already California's largest wildfire this year, and at last check, still 0% contained. Time now, just about 6:39, 78 degrees out.
After the break, why reading is one of the most important things you could do for your child.
And let's take a look at those lotto numbers. I saw someone in San Antonio want to scratch off $1 million.
Nice.
What a day. All right, take a look at those lotto numbers. Pick 3, 909, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 8327, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 7, 9, 19, 32, 35. Your Texas 2-step 3, 6, 16, 22, bonus ball 22, and your Powerball numbers 15, 21, 31, 36, 65, Powerball 16, Power Play 3. Good luck.
Good morning and welcome back. So the pandemic now being blamed for an increase in babies and toddlers missing their talking and reading milestones.
Experts worry nearly 1/3 of low-income elementary students will need intensive support to become proficient readers.
That's right. Sarah Costa explains how one organization is stepping up and helping out.
This is more than just learning ABCs.
They didn't know.
This is about giving a child the best chance possible to succeed.
We know that parents, when they think about what their children need, it's always food and clothing. And I think what we're also doing is bringing in the reality that books are another essential need.
Kids who don't have books are statistically behind educationally and in emotional learning.
More than 60% of low-income families do not have books at home for their children. 2 out of every 10 children enters kindergarten with skills 3 years lower than their peers. And students who can't read proficiently by 4th grade are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school.
Studies show that having books at home is more important than your parents' educational level.
And that's where Book Between Kids comes in.
He preferred her to read.
What started with a few secondhand children's books grew into this. This year, Books for Kids will collect and hand out more than 310,000 books.
and then he falls down because an owl sweeps.
They help get kids ready for school. They help reinforce what the kids are learning in school.
I don't care what socioeconomic group you belong to, they go to that book to escape for a few minutes, maybe for a few hours. And for children not to have that opportunity, we need to change that, because sometimes just the escape of reading is just so exciting.
More than 36 million adults in the U.S. don't have basic reading skills above a 3rd grade level. And the children of those adults are 72% more likely to be at a low reading level. I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
All right, 6:45, 78 degrees out. We did have something pop up on the roadways just a little bit ago.
Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Thanks, Max. Steph, let's get a look around town. 281 at Grayson. While things are looking quiet there, other spots we're already starting to see those flashing lights. TxDOT Hero trucks working to assist a few stranded drivers. There's one right there, 35 at Alamo. Very busy spot, so we know a lot of folks are going to be making their way through that area. So give those first responders plenty of room. You know what to do. Move over, slow down. I-10 at Hackberry, things aren't looking too bad there as we get another drive over here to 35 at Maine. But it is getting busier. It's morning rush, so we can expect to see some slowdowns. But thankfully, nothing major reflected on the map just yet. A few stalls that still remain. You can see them there off 35, pardon me, and a little bit further in the far west side of Bexar County off Loop 1604 and 90. So check those vehicles. It looks like stalls may seem to be the trending trouble of this Tuesday morning. So just, again, watch out, and especially if you see any stranded motorists on the highway. 410 at Broadway, things are moving just fine, but we're going to continue to keep a close eye on the roads throughout the morning. Guys?
Thank you, Stephen. Oh, that's an interesting pic behind you.
Well, the picture is great. The caption, and I love it. Excuse me, who didn't even talk about getting some rain? I think Mother Nature's taking our calls these days. So, but that's a great shot. And yeah, we can't buy any rain around here. Almost 13 and a half inches behind, officially out there at the airport, what is the normal average rainfall since January 1st. And since the 1st of June, it's only been about 2/3 of an inch. And obviously, that basically is nothing. And to catch up, and the soil moisture and everything like that would be a couple of feet of rain that we would need, which obviously we can't get all at once. And that's also one of the reasons why things are so hot, because the sun heats up the ground and then that heats up the air. And with that dry ground, it heats up very, very quickly and very, very easily. Think about sand at the beach, you know, how quickly that heats up. And that's why it seems like the norm past couple of months has been 100. We get some clouds, we stay just below that, so it's not out of the ordinary to hit 100 nowadays, and that's going to continue to be the situation. All right, as the week goes on, we are going to be seeing more of the Saharan dust around here, and as this goes back on through, and it will start about late Wednesday, late tomorrow night, it's going to start to move on in here. We'll see those more vibrant sunrises and sunsets with that extra orange glow out there with that dust. And that's going to be the situation in through Friday. And then again, it does start to clear out once we get on into the weekend. So we'll see another plume of that moving on in here. Yeah, we get some Saharan dust. We don't get any rain. Maybe right after that, but I wouldn't get too excited about it. Better chances for dust than rain. 79 degrees. At 8 o'clock this morning, we'll make it up into the mid and upper 80s through the late morning hours, already in the 90s by noontime. And let's see, normal high temperature is now 97 degrees. That's what we're going to be at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then add about 4 to that. So up to 101. We did hit 100 yesterday. And as far as rain chances, like I said, dust, yes. Rain, no. Not for the next couple of days around here. A lot of sunshine, some morning clouds. By Friday and Saturday, we do have a small chance for some of these showers. We've got these little disturbances that are coming on in here, and that's going to give us, and again, this is that broad brush, give us that small chance for a couple of showers Friday, maybe Saturday. But again, don't get really excited about any rain around here as we go on into the next couple of days. 91 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and yep, going to have another triple-digit temperature today, 101. And over the next few days, we will continue to add to it. So today is going to be day number 53. Will be actually hotter the next couple of days, 103. Couple of extra clouds will keep temperatures down right at 99. Basically the same thing, psychologically a little cooler, and then back to triple digits by Sunday and Monday. So With this forecast, we tie for second place on Monday as far as the most triple digits in a calendar year around here.
So what are you setting like the over-under at? We gonna set it like 70 this year?
Well, given the fact that not anything's changing anytime soon, most of the days in 2009, 2011, most of those triple digits were hit in the month of August and even going into the first couple of days of September. Yeah, at this rate, we could hit, I mean, that would only be 13 more days past Monday.
Sure.
So, decent chance.
We had the record May, June, and July. Could we have a record August as well?
Actually, to be honest, I don't know what the record high monthly average temperature is. Let me go check here real quickly. But yeah, it's going to be a good chance at it.
All right.
Either way, a hot back to school.
Yeah, very hot back to school.
Thank you, Mike. Time now, 6:50, 78 degrees out.
And teaching your kids how to say no could be the best lesson they will ever learn. Tomorrow on GMSA, how to start the conversation about drugs and alcohol.
And taking a live look out there. All right, 78 now, so a cool start to the day. What does the rest of the day look like? We're going to check in with Mike, and what you need to know before you head out the door. We're going to check in with Steven in just a bit.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, new details on that drone strike that killed the leader of al-Qaeda and at his home in Afghanistan. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is going to join us live to discuss. And then the primaries across the nation in 5 states today, plus abortion on the ballot in Kansas for the first time since the Supreme Court ruling. We'll tell you what's at stake, and our correspondents are in at least 2 states this morning. We're going to have that and so much more on Good Morning America.
All right, 6:54, 78 degrees. So for the most part, Stephen, it seemed kind of calm and quiet out there.
It still does, actually, and we're ending GMSA, at least in terms of traffic, on a really great note. 281 at Grayson. Let's just go ahead and get a quick look around town before you head out the door. 1604 at Wiseman. There, we're just seeing some quiet roadways, but we're going to continue to watch them closely as the morning does pick up. 35 at Alamo. Looks like that situation we spotted earlier has cleared. Thankfully, nothing to show you on the map, just a few stalls out there, so just make sure that you watch out, check your vehicles before you get out on the roads. But again, one last drive around town. Things are looking A-OK, Mike Osterhage.
To answer Mr. Massey's question, 2011, 90 was the average high temperature, the warmest for the month of August, the average monthly temperature, and 101, the average high temperature. So the average overall temperature was 90 in 2011. 2019 came in second as far as the average monthly temperature at 88.6. So yeah, we'll be probably close. I mean, that was in 90 about where we finished up the month of July. 79 right now. We've warmed up a little bit, and 101 for a high temperature later on today. Kind of breezy out there as well.
Hey,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mark.
So Mark is not here. He's in Colorado, and he is enjoying his time over there. And so what he told us before he left, he said, hey, that saying, you know, when you're in the frying pan, what is it like? If you wanted to avoid the heat, jump out of the frying pan. He's like, I'm so jumping out of this frying pan, and I'm headed to Colorado. But we hope you're having a wonderful time. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! I love that photo with him and Mike.
Right?
I like the one with the
yeah.
And I was showing the button on his collar. Yeah.
My favorite was Yoda.
Yes.
Baby Yoda.
Our little friend Baby Yoda, who you know comes out on May 4th and visits us here on GMSA.
Fantastic. All right, that is it for GMSA this morning. We'll see you back here 9 a.m.
Have a great day.